Welcome back, it's Don, and today we are going to be discussing some interesting news items. We are going to talk about a GDC poll that was taken by developers about their favorite platforms and their thoughts specifically on subscription services like GamePass, EA Play, etc. We're going to be discussing a Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade update, a HouseMarque update in regards to how they feel with Sony and them taking a chance on them with this very ambitious project. And lastly, we're going to be talking about a new PlayStation 5, I believe could be exclusive, that comes from a Chinese developer. Now, before we get into that, if you have not subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos, and hit the like button. That helps the channel a ton. Now, let's get into this GDC poll that was done. Let's start with the favorite platform to develop for. The exact question reads, which platform most interests you as a developer right now? And it was a choose-all that applied technically. And PC ranked at number 1 with 58%. PlayStation 5, 44%, Nintendo Switch, 38%, and Xbox Series X and S at 30%. And of course, you can see that PlayStation 5 remains to be at the top in terms of the consoles. Now, it says here, game developers are settling in with developing for next-generation consoles, and Sony PlayStation 5 is leading developer interest when it comes to game consoles. And it doesn't surprise me because we've heard that the PlayStation 5 was catered to the developers, making it the easiest platform outside of PC, of course, to develop for. So it's very nice to see the amount of love that developers are giving the PS5, and it's very clear with the games that we've seen that they can do amazing stuff on that platform. Now, the next poll that was taken here, and oh my goodness, this one's really interesting because we've always talked about this, right? A lot of us have discussed it, and people are on the fence about it, but hey, this is coming straight from the developers, and its question is, are you concerned that paid subscription services, and for example, they list Xbox Game Pass, Google Stadia Pro, and EA Play, will devalue individual game prices? And we got a very interesting answer here. So 21% said yes, they are concerned, 26% said maybe, 30% said no, and 22% said not sure. Now, the truth is there's 4 different options here, and they are quite different from each other, right? So it's hard to say that, oh, most developers are worried, because that would be untrue. That's not true. 22% of them are just not sure, like, what's going to happen, which is fair. And the 21% say yes, 30% said no, and then maybe people could fall in between, so that could go either way. So it's hard to say exactly where this falls. Now, an important thing to note is year over year, it looks like developers are feeling less concerned about the devaluation of individual games as they do these kind of polls on a regular basis. Now, I would like to point out that this still is a sign of concern from developers. Like, I'm not saying that it is a case where people should be worried. I'm just saying that there is concern there for the devs. And at the end of the day, I mean, they matter the most because they are the ones making the games, and it's going to impact how they go about creating these individual games. Now, I'm curious what's going to happen as the years go on, because subscription services are becoming very commonplace in gaming and pretty much every medium of entertainment at this point. So I don't imagine that's going to go anywhere, and that's just something we're going to have to become accustomed to. But it was a very interesting poll overall. Now, on to our next topic, and this is all about Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. This comes from WCCF Tech, titled Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, new information to be revealed next week. So new information on Final Fantasy VII Remake will be revealed next week. Square Enix has confirmed the Japanese publisher will host on May 7th at 4 a.m. PDT a live stream. The focus of it will be Final Fantasy VII The First Soldier, but there was also a Japanese tweet that went out. The Japanese Final Fantasy VII Remake official Twitter profile confirmed that new information on the upcoming PS5 game will be revealed at the end of the stream, which, you know, oddly enough, wasn't in the English tweet, but here it is, and we have got that confirmation. So this is exciting. We are going to see Final Fantasy VII Remake make a debut here. Not debut, it's going to make a showing here. I'm sure it'll be another trailer, if anything. I don't think it's going to be anything major. Probably just a trailer, and that's about it. Now, on to our next topic, and this is a letter from HouseMarque, and there are some specific points in here that I want to point out and talk about just because of the last few weeks where we heard about Sony not taking risks based on the Bloomberg article, and I know we've debunked pretty much every single point in that article, so this is just going to further basically solidify that article made no sense, not at all, based on Sony's response in the last week or so, just saying, hey, this isn't true, and they're showing it with their actions. Now, this letter comes from HouseMarque, and it's titled HouseMarque's Next Awesome Arcade Action Game releases tomorrow, and I'm going to take these specific points. It's a long letter. You guys should definitely check it out if you're interested, but I'm just going to take the specific points. So it says, kudos and huge thanks to the HouseMarque team, external studios helping us out, and our publishing partner, Sony, who took a chance on us and gave us an opportunity to create something new and unique. And there's a point here that I really want to talk about, because we talk about these studios that are really hard at work, right, and creating many projects. And this is why I believe HouseMarque will fit in Sony's portfolio. So when we started our pre-production of the game almost exactly 4 years ago in March 2017, we never would have imagined how big a production we eventually would be making. Looking back, it's almost incomprehensive to think that we were working on 4 different projects and we only had 50 people in-house at the time. We were finalizing 2 different projects, Nex Machina and Matterfall, prototyping and experimenting with a multiplayer project we later named Storm Divers, and we're starting a small pre-production of a totally new game. And this is the Sony, work ethic right here, creating games and creating many games at a time. We see it with Insomniac. We're seeing it with Naughty Dog going forward. We got it with Santa Monica. This is another example of that, and that's why I really feel they fit in the Sony portfolio. They make different games, and also they have that work ethic that Sony basically thrives on. They create these studios or buy up these studios that have that same work ethic and create many games at the same time and many blockbuster games at the same time. Now, obviously, this is their first AAA game, so this is a different story, but overall, still the same message here. Now, it says, during the years preceding the release of the game, publishers had been less and less keen on talking about funding arcade-inspired games, and we wanted to prove that there's still life in the genre. And to a degree, this game is, in a sense, like an arcade game, but it's not, right? It's like a roguelike, whatever you want to call it, and that is similar in the sense of the aspects that it carries over from previous games they did, which, just saying, the game is getting amazing reviews right now. Now, it goes on to say it was still very uncertain if we'd be able to move past the prototype phase and convince Sony to keep on funding a new, unproved concept. The concept was ridiculously ambitious, and looking back, we as a company really weren't totally appreciating the challenge ahead of us and how hard it could be to tackle it. In the age when game publishers are taking less and less creative risk, we were truly thankful to our publishing partner Sony, who has given us an opportunity to work on something very risky and has given fantastic support during the whole project. We are forever grateful for having this opportunity, and there it is, people. Another example of how Sony believes in new ideas and ambitious projects and risky projects, and they support them, and that's it right there. That's them supporting it. So I don't know what else to say when it comes to that Bloomberg article, but it debunks everything there. They talked about Sony only doing blockbusters. Clearly not true with this title. Talked about Sony giving up on indies. Clearly not true with the state of play that we saw, plus all the indies they post on their channel, plus all the indies they support in their state of plays. Come on, guys. The other thing is, too, on top of that, with our next topic, we're going to talk about how Sony is still going out there and supporting developers that aren't on the massive scale with huge amounts of numbers in their offices. Now, on to our next topic, which is going to fit in here quite well. And this comes from WCCF Tech, and it's titled Lost Soul Aside, PS5 version officially announced during Sony's Chinese PlayStation 5 conference. So developer Alti0 has officially confirmed the Lost Soul Aside PS5 version during Sony's Chinese PlayStation 5 conference. And it says in a tweet, we are happy to officially announce today that Lost Soul Aside is also coming to PlayStation 5. We hope you look forward to the game, and we appreciate your continued support. And there you go, another example of Sony supporting small devs. And this game was originally being done by one guy. And of course, now that's not the case. He's got the support. And this will be coming to the PS5. I believe it's coming to PS4 as well, and this is Sony supporting the small devs, man. This is the admirable side of Sony, right? Obviously, they're still a corporation. They're trying to make money, whatever. I get it. But to say that they don't support devs is just outright a lie, because clearly this is what's happening, right? These ambitious creative projects of like unproven status, and they're still supporting them. That's all you can ask for from a publisher. To be honest, that's literally all you can ask for them. But that's all I have for you guys in today's video. I'd love to hear from you. What did you think of this GDC poll with the subscriptions and how people are feeling about that, or devs are feeling about that? Also, how do you feel about devs feeling the PS5 is the best console to develop for, or their favorite console to develop for? And what do you think of Final Fantasy VII Remake's new reveal that we're supposed to be getting? What do you think we're going to see there? How do you feel about HouseMarque's comments on Sonys Support? Lastly, what do you think of the Lost Soul Aside PS5 version? Are you going to be playing this game? Let me know in the comments. And as always, if you have not subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos, and hit the like button. It helps the channel a ton. You can follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Links will be in the description. And share this video with a friend. I will talk to you all on the next one. Take care.